The TNA, or I guess the now Impact Hall of Fame, will be the night before Bound for Glory, and it's an interesting pick. It's a pick that really should be. Um, that should have been in a long time ago, honestly. But with the names prior, it makes sense. But they didn't have an inductee last year for some reason. I don't know why. But they made up for it this year with the Monster Abyss, which technically means Joseph Park also is in the Hall of Fame as well, but we won't get into that. That's just a whole can of worms for a different story. Abyss has been in TNA since day one, ever since the NWA TNA days. Well, technically, he was in the Gauntlet for the Gold as Justice, I believe. I believe it was Justice. No relation to Sid Justice or anything like that. Just he was just Justice, I guess. And then he eventually became Abyss, and the rest was history at that point. And who could forget his manager, Father James Mitchell, the former Sinister Minister in ECW, one of the greatest minds in this business, one of the greatest promos in this business as well. But as far as his list of accomplishments goes, they are many and they are impressive. So let's go through those really quickly as we can. First off, in AAA in Mexico, former World Tag Team Champion with Chessman, one of the all-time greats in Mexico as well. The American States Wrestling Alliance, their tag titles with of all people, Wildcat Chris Harris, who went on to become Braden Walker, and that became a piece of shit, but oh well. For the Border City Wrestling, the Can-Am Heavyweight title, one time there. For Buckeye Pro Wrestling, their heavyweight title. For Compound Pro Wrestling, their heavyweight title. For Intense Championship Wrestling, their heavyweight title. For the International Wrestling Association in Puerto Rico, their International Heavyweight title once. Their Hardcore title 3 times. And 3 times their World Tag Team title, with twice with Miguel Perez, and once with Glamour Boy Shane, who later on became Shane Sewell, the greatest referee of all time. For the Mid-South Wrestling Alliance, a holder of the BCW Buzzsaw title. For the Monster Factory, their heavyweight title. For the National Wrestling Alliance, and this is where it gets interesting, a former cyberspace heavyweight champion, NWA Iowa heavyweight champion, NWA Missouri heavyweight champion, which dates back to the original Missouri heavyweight title, NWA Wildside heavyweight title, which was, God, I miss Wildside, the NWA Florida Junior heavyweight title, which links back to the original title in 1942, and their United States heavyweight title, which technically the WWE title now, but, I guess that's a thing. For Ohio Valley Wrestling, their heavyweight title. For One Pro Wrestling, their heavyweight title. For the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, they ranked him 23 in the PWI 500 in 2007 and 2010, respectfully. In the biggest Indian clusterfuck in history, Ring Ka King, their tag titles with Scott fucking Steiner. Jesus. For Ring of Honor, their Tag Wars Trios tournament in 2006, they won that. They being Abyss, Alex Shelley, and Jimmy Rave. For River City Wrestling, their world title, a former Super Kicked with a D, apostrophe D, their world title. And what's more important, for TNA, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and this comes with some controversy. For those that don't remember, back in the day, TNA had a disqualification rule where a title could change hands on a disqualification. Now, this rule was rarely used at all, and this honestly may have been the only time it actually was used, to where it was Sting defending against Abyss. I believe it was 2006 or 2005, if I'm not mistaken. I remember actually seeing this. Abyss was being dangled from some kind of hook or crane or something. I don't remember the whole gist of it. But it ended with Abyss going through 2 tables with thumbtacks on them. Or something like that. I don't remember the full gist. But he went through some fucking tables. To where Sting was disqualified and therefore lost the world title to Abyss. Now, he lost it shortly after that, but, you know, he can hold claim to holding the world's heavyweight title. A former X Division champion in TNA, 2-time TV champ, which was basically the Red Belt of Doom, which was the Legends, if I'm not mistaken, the Legends Global, and then television title. Unless it was like Global International something stupid. Former TNA Tag title holder, once with James Storm under the Revolution, and once with Crazy Steve under Decay. A former NWA Tag Champion with AJ Styles. Of course, that gauntlet for the gold in 2005 we talked about earlier. A combatant in the Fight for the Right tournament, which I have to explain this just for the ridiculousness of this match. The Fight for the Right tournament in 2006 originally was a reverse battle royal, to where there were X amount of people, like I think 16 or 20 or something like that. The first 10 to enter the ring, they all start on the outside. The first 10 to enter the ring are qualified for the next round. They are then in a 10-man battle royal where you are basically going back to where you were before outside the ring in normal battle royal rules. Then you were seeded based on the elimination that occurred. For example, number 1 would face the first number 10, 2 versus 9, and so on. So just depending on your elimination. Oh, and on top of that, once all 8 men were the first 8 were eliminated, the final 2 would face on a one-on-one match, a regular match. So you had to pin or submit your opponent. You couldn't win by battle royal rules anymore. And after all of this, based on how you were eliminated, or when you were eliminated rather, you were in a fucking tournament. And the winner of this wasn't even in the fucking tournament to begin with. It was fucking Christian. I remember this because it was fucking stupid. The 4th TNA Triple Crown champion. The 2nd TNA Grand Slam champion. Of course, the Class of 2018 Hall of Fame. Match of the year in 2005 against Sabu, which was the incredible barbed wired massacre in December of that year. Who to watch in 2004? The Universal Wrestling Alliance, their heavyweight title. The World Wrestling Alliance, their heavyweight title. And the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the best gimmick. Why is this the best gimmick? Joseph Park Esquire. Gotta be fucking kidding me, Meltzer. Jesus. And the worst work match of the year, which I agree with, the Reverse Battle Royal on fucking Impact. You got one of them right, I'll say that much. But at the end of the day, Abyss has done so much for this business. Literally sweated, bled, and cried for this business. And if anyone needs to go in the TNA Hall of Fame before it loses any prestige, if any, that I've had to begin with, this is the guy that needs to go in.